right spot? Nope, I am not in the right spot. How are you in the right spot? Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, everyone. How are y'all feeling today? Hope we're having a wonderful day. Meow. Meow. How are you, Cactus? Merry Christmas, sweetheart. Ah. Such a tiring day. Meow. Dash. Merry Christmas, sweetheart. Meow. Hmm. Do we have Christmas tunes on there? I don't bother moving. Oh, holiday track. I wonder which one's better. Holiday party? No, what? Oh, holiday party. Hell fucking yeah. Let's play. Let's see what we got. We can go with it. You gonna nap because you're full of foods? Ooh. You got those numbs in ya? But get that napping. And, and I'm glad you're doing alright, Cactus. Meow. Huh? I didn't set nothing up. Oh, but I feel like what? Oh, he was here the other year. They put more stuff. Meow. 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 Let's go find. What is that? Ah.
Hello there.
Nico!
Whose horse is that?
That is not a horse. Roxas! Hello, sweetheart. Merry Christmas, Roxas. Merry Christmas, Nico. Meow. I was supposed to be setting you guys up. I didn't do nothing. The day hasn't even started yet, Roxas. What do you mean? It's only 9 a.m. It's 9 p.m. for you, I know. Did you have a good day today? Hmm. Oh, stuff has been happening. It's almost 11 p.m. That's even worse. There is stuff happening up there. Merry Christmas! It's actually really nice too. But that's even worse, Roxas. Get some sleep. Merry Cakemas? It's not much snow. There's a little bit, but it's not much. And it is not snowing right now. The tree's a lie. There's no tree in there. Oh, there's a top part to that? Couldn't pay no mind. You know, Roxas, I read that it's bend you over. I thought you wanted Nico to bend you over. Well, I do know you want to be bent over, but... Not objecting. adorable.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because they would never understand.
Meow. Let's see, let's see. Where's our next place? Oh! You told me it didn't. Oh no, it did. There it is. Disable full body tracking. A pocketable Amy. Backpack size. You look smaller? I am not small. I am my normal size. I am 1.2 meters. I am my normal size. These are some happy deals. Maybe a little too happy. The ball chumper. No? Cookie. Present. Wait, where are you guys at? I need to turn my lens visibility on. There you guys are. Let's put it over here, bring that a little closer. Nope. God damn it. Put it like this. Bring you guys close. There you go. One Sprite Cranberry. Can I open these presents? Oh my god. We're gonna leave that on. We're gonna leave that on. Is that it in the world? I didn't know music was playing. Probably why I didn't hear shit.
Come closer and let me chomp on them balls, boy.
Oh shit.
Santa got me something extra special for Christmas. It's long and hard.
Okay. Next world. We're gonna leave the sus world. Forgot I had my sounds off. That's why I wasn't hearing shit. What is this? Yuri, Merry Christmas, sweetheart. Something's happening. That's enough of that. Is that all that was in this world?
This year I'll think about how I'm so lucky to have a place that I can come home to. Yes, I am on my way. We'll put our differences aside and just enjoy this moment of peace and love and happiness. We come together to celebrate. Yes, every time the snow is falling down and it is cold outside, we gather around the fireplace and
You flip so hard you blew hair. Vin Diesel can learn from you.
it means so much more than words can say. And I claim Christmas is a magic day. Sometimes I tend to forget what glory this holiday represents. But it's fair to say that Christmas is a magic day.
Oh, let me answer all Merry Christmases.
Yes, every time the snow is falling down and it is cold outside, we gather around the fireplace and no one cares about yesterday. My favorite holiday. It means so much more than words can say. And I claim Christmas is a magic day. Sometimes I tend to
Answer all these.
what glory this holiday represents. But it's fair to say that Christmas is a magic day.
Okay, where are we? I feel like I've been here before, a long time ago. There is a lot of guns to use though. Yeah, I feel like I was here before. There's a whole sniper up here. Does it work? Nope. Huh. Well, so much for this world.
I see why a road is a hazard in the glowing light.
Huh? Let me see. Open this up. Open this up. Go here.
Your mom says you're hard-headed as you tonight with a cruel goodbye. Baby, what is this? I've got your gift wrapped in your lights on our Christmases, and in my heart, I guess I'll only go so far. I stopped the car, you stopped the last thing I had going for me here. Merry Christmas, screw your New Year. My mistake, I thought
That looks nice.
love was the only one to decorate your heart. What a lie, what a sad wrong. Was it fake? The kisses, the big plans. Well, it's been great, you're ruining everything. Everything. What is this? I've got your gift wrapped in your lights on
Invite me. Meow.
I guess I'll only go so far. I stopped the car, you stopped the last thing I had going for me. Merry Christmas, screw you. Merry Christmas, screw you. Next year on Christmas Eve, with someone still for me. You're somewhere.
Oh my god. How much frames do I have? It is bouncing between 30 and 10. What are we loading into the world? We're good? We loaded everything? Cause goddamn. We got a friend. We got a friend. We're taking them with us. And wait.
Who is on his merry way? It's Santa. Who wants nothing more than bring you joy? Who has got a flying sleigh but Santa? Who keeps track of every girl and boy? The whole world knows him well as Saint
Santa.
Who is pulled by reindeer on his flight? From house to house he'll go, putting on his show. Don't ask me how he's done in time.
Oh, get back over there. The flames. James, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the Wolfpack, baby. How you feeling today? Hope you're having a wonderful day.
The whole world knows him well as Saint Nick or Père Noël. And once a year he'll go barreling through the snow. From house to house he'll go, putting on his show.
What is in here that's killing me? What is going on?
Ask me how he's done in time. I just know he seems to do just
Casino's up there.
Let's go outside. The snow is falling down, and every child is having so much fun. The snowman is twice the size as me, with a smile as quirky as mine. We're holding hands to keep each other warm while we stand and watch a choir performing all the Christmas songs that we love. Yeah, all the Christmas songs that we love. And in a while we're gonna go inside and drink our chocolate by the fire. 'Cause all I want is to spend this day with you. Let me give you a Christmas, a moment we'll fill with love and joy. So beautiful, kissing on a mistletoe, baby, with you. I don't need any presents, as long as I spend this day with you. So beautiful, kissing on a mistletoe, baby, with you. Ooh. I'm making plans for what we're gonna do. I feel so blessed that I can be with you. 'Cause God knows that I've been longing for you. I just wanna hold you close. You know the stars are shining just for you. Let's take a walk and we can follow the moonlight till we reach a place we can stay. Maybe kiss a bit and dream away.
Don't think there's much here that we can actually do.
'Cause all I want is to spend this day with you. Let me give
Hello?
you a Christmas, a moment we'll fill with love and joy. So beautiful, kissing on a mistletoe, baby, with you. I don't need any presents, as long as I spend this day with you. So beautiful, kissing on a mistletoe, baby, with you. Ooh. And in a while we're gonna go inside and drink our chocolate by the fire.
Let's try this one out.
Is to spend this day with you. Let me give you a Christmas, a moment we'll fill with love and joy. Love and so beautiful, kissing on a mistletoe, baby, with you. I don't need any presents, as long as I spend this day with you. So beautiful, kissing on a mistletoe, baby, with you.
Baby, with you. I thought I can go in here. That would have been a nice little spot to take a little nap at. Oh. Igloo! Wonder how warm they are. Meow. Oh. I mean, it's not a bad place to be. Seems pretty comfy. Grab a few friends and start the cuddle sessions. What's that? Huh. Ouch. What was that? Violet! Merry Christmas, sweetheart. How are you feeling? Huh. This is a nice site. Too bad it's not much town to it though, but it's a nice site. Shh. Don't look behind the screen. Just look at the front of the screen. Don't look at what's back there. No. I don't know why it does that when I'm looking at stuff. And Violet, how's your Christmas going, sweetheart? What have you been up to? Or what have you planned to get up to?
Yo, that's everyone thanking me. The heck? Oh, that's awesome. That's fucking amazing.
Oh, there's nothing out here. Ah, yeah, I didn't have my coffee yet. Should have had it. I probably would have been able to finish sooner. Huh? We found a cake. Whoever's birthday was yesterday's, today's, and tomorrow's happy birthday! Ah, you got Christmas later at your sister's house? Nice! So that's where you're gonna have your gift given at? Meow. Okay, that's not bad. Giftings and food. Listen, it's always about the food. We all know we don't go to anybody else other than for the food. You don't have to cook at that time. Hey, booyah! Thanks for the follow. Welcome to the Wolfpack, baby. How you feeling today? Hope you're having a wonderful day. Poops. The food is the best gift. Yes.
Hello.
Oh, hello, sweetheart. How are you? Merry Christmas. Aww.
Thank you, you too.
Adorable. Looking all cozy too. I was streaming for a little bit.
You're streaming right now?
Yes.
A little wet in my pussy.
How are you doing today, Yo-Yo Booyah? Unique. Hey, sweetheart. Merry Christmas and Merry Christmas to you, Yo-Yo. Meow. Happy holidays for everyone.
A little wet in my pussy.
You feeling a little wet, Unique? Someone's sleepy. You didn't get much rest last night?
I mean, I got home late and I was on the VR chat for a bit.
Ah. That's a cutie kissy note. Oh, let's see. What worlds are out there? It's like we ran out of worlds for the year.
Hmm. 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 Hmm.
Oh, at least the Christmas music I got is nice.
Whose horse is that?
That is not a horse. But I am not finding any worlds up.
What kind of world are you looking for?
Oh, I'm just trying to keep it relevant to around, Christmas and the holidays right now.
I got this on my page. Hold on, I'm gonna drop a portal. You can like click on it and make a group instance if you want. But I just got this on my page. Have you been to this one?
It looks familiar. I think I've been there. Let's make it anyway. Portal! Let's go!
Yeah.
Nope, I haven't been here. Nice and cozy too. Oh wait. No, I have been here. But it was a different... Probably for the spring season one.
So it's just a reskin?
Yeah. Because I remember taking a nap right here. Wolf, hydrate, yes. Hydrate, and some stretchies. Cutie.
Order.
Cutie.
I'm gonna save this world. can take these.
Oh, you can have a slice.
Pizza. Pizza.
We could have a slice. We could have a slice. No, Nico, no pineapple. No, we don't do pineapple, Nico. No. No. Meow, meow.
Beep beep. Beep boop.
Coffee.
Yeah. Mm. Your plush. One of my friends joined.
Oh, they're outside.
Hello.
What do you think of the new Avi?
No, it's so cute.
I love it. That isn't the no. The default pose is oh my god, there's no go. Oh, I don't like it anymore. I just want to go. I don't know how to upload.
Wait, you don't know?
You don't know how to upload Go-Go?
Go-Go to an avatar. Hold on.
That's easy.
Wait, have I added you on Discord?
No, you haven't.
What's your Discord? Yeah, she's just streaming. I'm gonna help you.
Meow, meow.
What's your Discord?
Oh. Toe beans. And Merry Christmas. Hello, sweetheart.
Christmas is coming. Start sending your letters off to Santa. Christmas is coming. Yeah. Better be nice if you want your present. Tell all your brothers, sisters, mama and papa too. Christmas is coming, yeah. Staying up late looking out the window. Yeah. Christmas is coming, yeah. Spotting some sleigh rides and some jingle bells. Tell all your brothers, sisters,
No. What? Yeah, I'll just throw you under me. I'll just throw you under me.
Christmas is coming.
Toe beans.
Roasting some chestnuts on the fire.
Meow.
Christmas is
Say
coming.
beans. Meow.
Celebration and surprises. Tell all your brothers, sisters, mama and papa too. Tell all your brothers, sisters, and mama and papa too. Oh yeah, yeah.
Hello, gaming kid. How are you feeling, sweetheart? Shadow Ice Wolf Dragon. Are you the buff? Are you the buff werewolf dragon?
Thank you. Also, I might still find my
You lag.
Oh.
You lagged a little bit.
No, anyway. No, so I said that I might need to borrow you later for some actual professional photos on Abby.
I don't know much about like Abby stuff. I only added like some.
No, I meant photos of Abby.
Oh, photos. Oh yeah, sure. I'd love to. Yeah.
It's gonna have to be before I start work.
Copy link. Paste.
Okay, you're different then. I
There
thought you
it
were.
is.
I thought you were someone else.
Okay, so what do I do?
That was
with
like
this
buff,
file?
buff, dog, wolf,
you just
dragon.
drop it in your Unity, like to your assets, and then you just load it, and then you
Can't load this file.
Titleist.
Why?
Hello, sweetheart. How you
can't
feeling
you?
today? I hope you're having a wonderful day.
You can't load this right up. Why? Huh? Wait. Oh, press the download. Press.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got the Unity package.
Yeah.
So
And then drop
go
that.
back- go back into my.
Into there.
Back in my.
I'm doing great, sweetheart.
Oh wait, there's so many people joining.
Because you're on blue.
I'm on blue. I'm on green. No, usually when I'm on green, not this many people joining me. Like.
Okay, so I'm in
And
Unity
Derek.
right now.
Merry
Yeah,
Christmas,
just-
sweetheart. Merry
Abby,
Christmas and
it's,
happy
add it-
holidays to everyone in chat.
Yeah, add it to the assets.
What? So
You're
import
welcome.
package, or what do I do?
Yeah, just drop it, drag and drop it into the assets, and then press import. Hello. You got your VR.
I did. Get it.
Yeah.
I can't do it.
Ooh, thank you.
Hmm?
It's not letting me do it. Import
The
new.
bunny
What does it say?
lord, little
It's just
sweetheart.
coming up with that red frost
Cuties.
icon thing, so it's not letting
Hold
me drag and drop.
on. We might have to go on Discord call, and you can share your screen. It's easier if I see it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's loud.
You can't have that.
Hold on. Oh shit. I gotta. Yeah. Set my sensor microphone.
Oh dear.
I'm gonna continue bouncing around. I'll see you, sweetheart, okay?
Yeah, I'll see. Oh. Hmm.
Cutie. Take care. Bye-bye. Meow. 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 To the next world. Though that was a nice world too. Definitely good for chilling, napping. Thank you, Titus. Oh, it's a cola truck. Boops. The boops. It's a Coca-Cola trucks. Got it? Oh. NPCs. Hmm.
Dear Santa, tell me that you'll make it here in time. Yeah, this boy is on my mind. The number one thing on my wish list. Oh, Santa, tell me you know that I've been good. I put the lights up just for you. You're the only one who can make my dreams come true. I could see the end until he looked my way. I used to be blue, now I'm brand new, all wrapped up in red. I keep on dreaming of his face. He just melts my heart away. I'm always Christmas every day.
I'm glad I could bring you joy.
Maybe it's crazy, but he makes it feel like Christmas every day. Dear Santa, hurry through this sparkly winter night. He started with Christmas tree.
Huh?
With every jingle bell, I know we're finally near.
Is it a magic broom?
I could see the end.
Looks like a magic broom.
Looked my way. I used to be blue, now I'm brand new, all wrapped up in red.
If no one's down here, plus unlock the hat. Oh, there's more. The hole goes even deeper.
Now the winter seems to stay.
It's a carbuncle! This is probably the cutest one I've seen. What is this? Hog face. This is so beans. The hello. And what's the last one? Fish.
Joy to the world, the Lord is come. Let earth receive
What else is in here?
her King.
This is the Need for Speed. This is Need for Speed 2. No, this is Need for Speed Most Wanted. BMW. Can I drive it? Wait, ah. There's more. Here we go. No?
He rules the world with truth and grace, and makes the nations prove the glories of
Huh. DRC track for your racing.
and wonders of his love, and wonders of his love, and wonders of his
But I don't think there's much in. I don't think there's nothing left. I would come here. I wonder how the video player runs down there though. Such a tiny bed too. With the cuddle mirror. I wonder, does that come any closer? Can I even? I cannot target the screen. Where is it? Where's the controls? Huh? Oh, there's stuff in here. Oh wait, the camera's not in a barrel with me. It doesn't see nothing. There's the universe inside the barrel. Or we could just hide. And peek at everybody. Hopefully my tail doesn't give us away. Oh. Aww. Dragon. Oh, it's the foxhole. But non-Windsor. What's this? Galaxy static. Ah. Nah, Galaxy Dynamics is way better. Kitty in a barrel. Boop. Okay. Are we out of music? No, there's still a lot more to come. Always keep the happy music going. Now, let's see. Our next world would be... Oh, I was here already. A Mario Christmas Shell Cabin. It's my camera. There we are. I knew they were always together. Can I? Does it open up? No? Oh, there's Pac-Man in here. Oh, it's not being played. Yoshi and Berto. Huh. Think. Can I go out this door? There's Oblivion out there. So no. Nintendo. If you can ever make a good game, please make one. And don't put a $150 price tag on it. That is ridiculous. Let's see. Where are we off to next? Spider! Hi, sweetheart. How are you? Adorable. Aww. Aww. So cute. Wow. Wow. Oh, this one was supposed to be yesterday. Could try this one. Here we go. To the portal. To the fireplace. Oh, they made rooms? Oh, they do got rooms here. They made stuff. I mean, that one's empty. Huh. Might go there. That's pretty fun. A portal? A horror portal world? Hmm. Let's see. Add to favorites. We'll put it in others. And we'll add you as well. And we'll come back to both of them. Okay. Now, let's see. What's in the gallery? Aww. Congratulations on the first wedding anniversary. Nice. They made a cat. They've made a cat. Yeah. Okay. What's the rest of the world look like? Huh. It tells exactly where I am. Wait, oh wait! Might as well get it while I'm here. Let's see. It's gonna be sunny today. It's gonna be a fucking blizzard tomorrow with more snow the next day and more. Are you serious? Let's see. We're gonna have snow until the 30th. Where it's just gonna rain. That 0 degrees is evil. It shows your location. It knows where you are, Spider. It knows where you sleep. I mean, I say it all the time, but it's fine. Reported by Open.com. Okay. Well, that's a lot of snow. That is a lot of snow.
This is too horny.
Adorable. Well, Roxas, I don't know if you see it, but yeah, that's the forecast. We're gonna get the snow tomorrow. And the rest of the whole damn week. Until New Year's. New Year's Eve. Let's see. And it's gonna be brick. Brick. Okay. Okay. Bricker. And it's just hella brick. It's gonna be fucking cold. Okay. Meow. Bedroom system, bed clutter, rain, normal stuff. Okay. But this is a nice little chill world too. Adorable. Yeah, snow. Okay, let's head to those other worlds that I saved. Blue Duty, the Nightmare City. And I smell good food being cooked. I am getting hungry too. Let's go! The portal has been spawned. Oh, that ring's been there for a long time. Though I do got some new rings to put on my avatar. I want to add effects to them. And what's this blue light? Mayhem, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the Wolfpack, baby. I hope you're having a wonderful Christmas today. And happy holidays. Meow. Capsule room. Also the gallery. Let's do the gallery and then we go to the capsule room. Arrows are pointing this way. Oh my god! They got a whole anime for it. Oh, he's back. Here he is. Damn, the whole Kingdom Hearts 3 thing? Oh. That was pretty cool. Nightmare City. Pretty much all the scenes we were looking at.
Whose horse is that?
Those are not horses, those are cats. Interesting. Oh, it continues. There's another story. Oh. That cat is way too happy. Hold on 1 second there. Those are some strange looking horses, yeah. Sillies. Rico. Oh, they have a human form. It's the same character? Is that just another? Huh. Meow. Oh, so they have a human form. She.
I'm walking around feeling free, thinking about what's happened to me from July.
Oh.
Up till now, don't know where, don't know how. Lately I've come to realize
Old school.
that I can't see it.
Merry Christmas, happy holidays. How you feeling today, baby?
I'm so glad you feel it too.
Warara. Huh?
To me it's perfectly clear, we're falling in love.
Mona.
It's true that
Too happy. I'm beating people up. That smile has never left. I'll kill you with a smile. Dragon, Merry Christmas, sweetheart. How are you feeling? Sue.
to me it's perfectly clear, we're falling in love. It's through this part of
Oh, he's on one of those. I thought he was running. And one is literally just Tails. That is Tails.
Christmas time's got the best of me, then it starts to snow in our hearts. We both know that we're falling in love.
Doing better than earlier this week. It was bad.
It's perfectly clear, we're falling in love.
Head pads.
It's true this part of the year, something in store for us. We're falling in love.
With the soundtrack. Nice. 403 Southern Cross. Music 403. I'll check that music out later.
Something's in store for us. We're falling in love. That's right.
The Sketchies. Oh. Oh my god. He's getting thrown.
What the dog doing?
Not the doggies. Chill room? Chill room's over here. Oh, we're back. Huh. It comes full circle. I mean, I guess I do the same thing. I'll put my main spot in all the worlds. Meow. Okay, let's run back. Enter the capsule room. Interesting. Oh. Oh. The world has spawned in. Oh. Ah, the simulation won't let me jump. Okay. That's... Okay.
Hello.
Hello.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, sweetheart.
How are you?
I'm good.
That's good. Just finding a capsule.
Imp, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the Wolfpack, baby. How you feeling? Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. Blank. Happiest of the holidays. Happiest holidays, yes. Oh, there it is.
So what exactly is this game?
Huh? Oh, this is not a game. Well, I don't know if it's a game. It seems more like an anime.
Ah.
There's a movie on the gallery side.
Ah, yeah. Also, these walls remind me of the American Dad episode Family Land. If you've seen that.
Family Land? I don't think I've seen that episode, or I'm not remembering it right now.
Oh, it's really funny. It's like you know there's a like a GIF that's very popular from the episodes, like the shut it down, shut it all down.
You've been here before. Oh, okay. Meow. Meow.
That GIF comes from that episode. And in the actual episode, what happens when that button is hit? A bunch of like not only do the rides all stop, but there's a bunch of walls that like come up and like surround the entire park. Really funny. I'll have to send you the clip on Discord later. You'll have to.
Yeah, definitely send it to me.
Only issue is I do not have your Discord, so yeah, you'll have to send me a friend request.
Okay, you don't? I thought you did.
I thought I did too, but I guess I don't. But yeah.
World Spawn. There you are. 3 out of 6.
Oh, I'm supposed to collect these?
Yeah. I don't know what they're for, but yeah, we're supposed to collect them.
Oh, okay. I only have 1 of 6.
This one. Let's go to the city.
Yeah, I don't want to burn my eyes out, thank you. Aw, characters.
Yeah.
Look at them little beans.
There we go. 4 out of 6.
They're adorable.
The city's in ruins.
Oh, look at this pork.
To the highway. Oops.
I think she was supposed to go through that.
Yeah, I got clipped. Characters on. Characters on. Still happy.
Look at the happy bean. And look at this goober.
Meow. 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 What's that that app? That cat app? I think they took all those models from that cat app, that cat mobile app, and just put them in here. made a whole anime out of them. You know which one I'm talking
that's
about,
funny.
right?
I unfortunately don't, but yeah.
Oh no.
I could.
Don't worry, I'm quite sure if you go to the App Store and put cat in, that will come up.
Hello there.
Sharkblade! Hello. Anonymous just brought. Oh, I got a secret gift. Thank you. Also got followed. And thank you for the follow, sweetheart. Meow. Hello. And whoever brought me the gift, thank you. Meow. I'll check what it is later. Well, it'll get here. It'll get here. I'll just wait for it to come. But thank you. Meow. And boopies. Meow. Get boops.
Hey, I booped you.
I boop you. Adorable.
Oh.
Aw, thank you, Mayhem.
I just saw your PFP. No you. And you.
You.
God, I love the Mayu. Character on.
Oh, they're above us.
First flake of snow
Kitty.
is set to fall today.
Oh.
Poor Goober.
Comes to say that Christmas is on its merry way, and for every single child, there's a gift on Santa's sleigh.
I'm gonna go grab one from the desert thing that I just saw. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Is said to fall today. The first snow this winter.
I guess we'll wait for him to show up. And then we'll go to the portal. We'll go through that together.
Well, hold on. I don't have the sixth one. Where's the sixth one?
The first capsule. Well, the second capsule.
This one?
Yeah.
The bridge in that one reminded me of San Francisco. That's where I
Yes.
was born.
Oh, that's where you was born?
Yeah. I live on the complete opposite side of the country now.
The red and
My
black
brother
little
needed
one?
an education, among other things. But yeah. Yeah, the red bridge, yeah.
No. This is Spider. This is Man Spider. They're asking about you.
Man Spider has a cute Mayu.
Meow. You used to play the random sounds at most random times.
I just completely teleported by accident. I have no idea. Like,
Big brother, I want you to give me your big, juicy, thick and drench me with your hot, sticky until I'm gasping for air.
should I click play?
Yeah,
I
you
want
should
you
click
jump
play.
rope and butt booty naked right in my face so I can see that booty bouncing with maximum efficiency.
That
I'm
one
not gonna
gay
lie to
furry.
you. I want that and I desire that. I need that. I'm dreaming about
It's
that,
a
man.
cat girl.
Give it here.
Meow. Oh, that's it. Oh, well, that's that for that one.
Yay! What next, I wonder?
I think it's done now. Okay. Let's head to the Portal Horror World.
Okay.
Portal!
Yippee!
I bet you want to be shocked, Roxas. You and Nick were playing those sounds back to back.
Okay. I see. It's a portal world for horror games. Okay. Yeah, I don't really play horror games. It's just not my forte. But
No.
Yeah.
Nah, we're not going to play any horror. I just wanted to see what it was.
Ah, okay. That makes sense.
I just wanted to see. I wasn't really going to play anything.
All good. All good. No worries.
But it's a good spot now. The Halloween one has been upgraded. Oh, there's something up there.
Oh.
Bless you.
Thank you.
Yeah, scary worlds. It says it's
I
right
don't know what any
here.
of this says. Okay.
Oh.
Okay, we might have to mute that. That's probably copyrighted.
Of course it is. I mean, it's probably from them anyway. I think they made the music.
Oh,
But-
at least there's a little zone for cuddles and whatnot.
Yeah.
That's always nice.
Adorable. Meow.
No, you.
You're adorable. A Scorn World in VR chat. I don't think anybody's touched that yet. Hello, hand? Hand? I'm scared.
Yeah, no, I don't think we're going through that one, no. No. Mm-mm.
She said, don't you want to check out her personally made world? She made it herself.
With a title that literally gives off horror game vibes, and the content warnings graphic violence and excessive gore? No.
But does she look like she wants to hurt you? Look at her. She's not gonna climb out of no portals or TVs and try to kill you or anything.
I wouldn't be so sure about that.
Merry Chrysler.
Ah, Papa. Merry Chrysler.
Oh, there's tracking again. I hate inside out tracking. Do it. I'm sure it's fine.
No. If y'all do actually do that though, I'm not gonna follow you because I'm not into horror, as I've said already. But
I know, sweetheart.
all good, all good.
Angel, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the Wolfpack, baby. And Dorn Crow, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the Wolfpack. And Merry Christmas, Happy New Year's, Happy Holidays, everything to all of you. Meow,
Do you know that in terms of male, human, and female Pokemon breeding, Vaporeon is the most compatible Pokemon for humans?
Can you come out of the basement?
To their channel.
But I like you in the basement.
Something that says G6 followed by a little follow button. Super easy to click it. They're streaming right now. If you want to go say hi and drop a follow, I'd appreciate that. Fuck you, don't wave at my chat. What's wrong with you?
Adorable. Not gonna lie, you feeling eepy? Same.
Yeah, I literally just like woke up. Like I'm almost never around to catch your streams, so
Pineapple.
yeah, it's very nice that I was able to catch it this time around.
Yes, pushed them through it. You just give them the bean push. Like, no, because they will, as they're going through the portal, they will uninstall VR chat. They won't even turn this shit off. They'll just hit the uninstall button on it.
Hold on a second, my mom's.
Fua! Merry Christmas, Fua! Meow, meow. Happy holidays! Meow. Oh, did you get any gifts?
Yeah. Me?
Yeah.
Or are you talking to the chat?
You.
I don't know if I got any gifts yet. I'm waiting for my brother to get back from a thing, but yeah, I'll DM you on Discord once I get it, of course. If I do get anything, I am expecting a new headset. This is probably the last time anyone will see me wearing a Quest 2, because like I'm planning on getting a Quest 3 today, so
Oh.
yeah. Right now I'm using a Quest 2 which has horrible stick drift. I tried fixing it, didn't work out.
Listen, there's
so,
no fixing dick drift once you get it.
Yeah, no, there isn't. But yeah. Once I do get this new headset, I won't have to worry about that for a while, especially since I don't really play as many games as I used to. Like, I remember when I was just like getting started in VR chat and stuff, I was playing a lot of Super VR Ball.
When I first started, I was playing Prison Escape a whole lot.
Oh yeah, Prison Escape is another one I played, albeit not as frequently. But yeah.
Fix dick drift with duct tape. Yes.
Like, the stick drift has actually gotten to the point where it's now in both controllers. It wasn't like this a few months ago.
Yeah, it goes fast. They made their controllers with probably the shittiest roller in there.
Yeah, it's like the biggest companies make the worst crap now or something.
But they gotta cut corners somewhere. They assume that nobody would notice it.
Mm-hmm. But and by the way, yes, I am well aware that the Quest 3 can also get drift. If that happens, I'll probably just get the sticks replaced at some point by a third party or something, because I do not trust myself to do that.
Oh, come on, you could do it. I believe in you. I believe.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
Oh, silly Mayu. Spider Mayu.
Spider Mayu.
Adorable.
Time for Christmas, time for us.
Yeah.
It seems
It was
that's
good
the
to see you
last
again,
song,
though.
too.
Yeah. I'm very happy I got to see you again.
Yes. Glad you dropped on by, sweetheart.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah. My Discord's in my VR chat bio if you want to add me there, but yeah.
Okay. I'll add you from there. Okay?
Epic, thank you.
Adorable.
Alright.
I'll see you around, alright?
Yeah, of course. Thank you, sweetie. Have a great day.
You too. Enjoy
and to
your
all
Christmas.
of you watching over there on Twitch, Merry Christmas. Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye. All right. Evercrack. Is there Evercrack VR chat? I don't know. Probably. Okay. Let's head through. Let's check it out. Probably the only one we look at. Let's go. Anubis. Thanks for the follow. Welcome to the Wolfpack, baby. Merry Christmas. happy holidays, happy new year. Hope you're doing well, sweetheart. And huh. Pitch black. Oh, we can go through this door. Not through there. Can we go through here? No. What's this? Climb? Is this a fake wall? Hmm. Okay. Hmm. Hmm? Oh. That was death. At least I think it was. I think that's just it. To the portal. Here. Merry Christmas, sweetheart. Happy holidays. Adorable. And we came first full circle. Let's see. Okay. It is getting pretty late now. We do gotta go do the Christmas stuff. Let's let Violet get here. And then we can all bail. Yes. Dino! Merry Christmas, sweetheart. It's nice seeing all of you today. Thanks for dropping on by. How's your Christmas going, sweetheart? How's everyone's Christmas going? Hope it's all going well. Oh, you just woke up? Oh my god. You were very eepy today, weren't you? You loading in, Violet? You tried last night, but now not anymore. Ah. Violet, you loading in? Not sure if they could hear me, or if they even there. Your tracking's messing up? Oh, you can still just join. Don't worry about the tracking. Yeah, just drop on by. Come on. Don't worry too much about the tracking. Just give them a minute. It'll be over. Ah, there they are. They're crawling. I'm on the ground though. To the gorillas. You keep bending down like that, you're gonna invite a lot of people for you. Adorable. So adorable. We got a violet. They are ground violet, but they're violet. Face down, ass up. That's the way you like it, right? Right, Violet? Hey, yo. You know that's a song too? I'm not sure if you... Okay, you do know it. I didn't want to, you know, be too old in here now. Welsh! Merry Christmas! Happy holidays! How are you today, Welsh? Cutie. No, you. You're the cutie.
Hey, yo. Meow.
You literally can't move until you fix the track. It's alright. It's alright. Adorable. You doing okay? I'm glad, Welsh. Any plans for today? Well, you probably already did your day. But what you do? What you do today, Welsh? You're a cutie. Was it you the one with the train set? I think it was you. I think you do the trains, right? Did you upgrade your trains? Did you get more this year? You silly. You're still trying to fix that tracking? What trackers do you use?
The Vive 3.0.
Then what's...
But I don't have the continuous calibration. I don't have a tracker in my headset, so.
Oh, what
That's
headset you're using then?
The Quest 2.
Oh. Oh, it works for you, but it don't work for me? Well, that's probably what I would look like if I tried to do my full body again with this headset.
Yeah.
I was trying to figure that shit out, so you'll have to explain all that to me later. Cause I was like, how do I get this shit to work? This is not doing anything. It's not putting
You
me
gotta
in.
have the what is it, space calibrator?
Yeah. Just making figure eights, huh?
Yeah. I think the headset is dying. That's why it keeps losing tracking.
Oh, nice. Damn, Violet having World War One with trackers. Yup.
Alright. See, are these in the right place now?
That's why they got their ass up. They could take more shots to the ass than to their head.
Just bringing in the viewers. Like, what's going on here? Oh, yeah, let me see if I can fix it now. Nope.
Oh.
Oh. I got my legs.
You got the legs.
I'm like in the ground though.
Yeah, place face upward.
That's the thing. I can't get to play space for some reason.
Oh, it's not working?
I don't know. Yeah, for some reason, like my Steam thing is just hit all the apps.
Yeah, Steam is Steam. If you know, you know.
I think maybe because I was messing up last night. I don't know.
You probably have to do a full reboot for the Steam to work properly.
Yeah, I might have to.
Hannah, hello, sweetheart. Oh, which Abby? Me? The cute spider? Or the Pokemon?
I guess it works if I'm laying on my bed. I'm just stuck on the ground.
You're mine? Oh, thank you! Meow. And a cat person. Oh, the Mayu? Mayus are adorable. Yours is adorable too.
Yeah. It's a spider Mayu.
Yes, the spider Mayu. Meow. I want to confess. I put fake eviction notices randomly on people's doors and watch. That is devious. I love it. For your New Year's resolution, You need to do more. We need more.
This like Agent of Chaos type stuff.
Yes. Oh, yes. Merry Christmas, low-income families. Yes. I think that's all of us. If you ain't pulling 5 million a day, you're part of the low income. Head pass. Thank you. Yes, it's a cutie paru. Namatsu. Merry Christmas. It's very chilly. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to everyone in chat. Happy holidays, everyone in chat. Meow, meow. Meow, meow. Meow, meow.
My throat is dry right now. I can't meow very well. I need water.
Hydrate. Get that hydrate.
Yeah, told you the tracking would break. I'm just gonna reset Steam VR.
Well, you might as well stay right there. Don't go nowhere. 'Cause we're gonna be leaving
I'm so
soon.
broken.
It's okay.
All I see is my body like going backwards.
Well, you know what they say. It's time to throw it back.
I don't have any choice. I guess that's what it wants me to do.
I like this music.
Alright, I'll be back.
Okay. Well, by the time you get back, I might be having breakfast.
Oh, that's fair. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. If you are in the world by the time I get back, you will see me.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna be a while when I eat. Take care. Enjoy. If I don't see you.
Thank you.
Okay. But let's start it up anyway. Okay. We're gonna be ending stream now. We're gonna be rating. I think it's Nunacat. I think that's how you say their name. I think that's how you say their name. Meow. Let's get the raid started. Let's get the end screen on. Let me turn off the music, because I think it's colliding with the other music that's on the screen already. I hope you all enjoyed the stream. Yes, copy down that raid message, drop it in their chat. Yes, we started too late and it's Christmas, Nico. You know we gotta go have Christmas. Don't worry, next stream we'll have a long stream. Okay? So I'll see you all next time. Love you all. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. Happy New Year if I don't see you. And until next time, my adorable beings. Love you all. Take care. Bye. See you, Namasu. See you, Dino. See you, Nika. Bye, Spider. Take care. Take care, Chili. Take care, Hana. Bye, Welsh. Bye, Tear. Take care.